Mike and Ellen Martinez had just moved to a tiny house in a new city and struggled to provide for their 2 little children.
We're new parents, we're out here on our own. We don't know anybody in Houston. We had to balance, job and kid and, health insurance and food and bills and car and house and just making it all work.
So to cut corners, they skimped on food and lowered the house temperature during winter.
I have pictures of it, of Emmy sitting on the floor in the house with a thick knitted sweater and a thick hat pulled down over her ears because it was cold.
They were living paycheck to paycheck with no end in sight.
We just had to learn and we just had to adapt, and we had the Lord there.
Years before, Mike and Ellen met while backpacking in India. Ellen was Hindu before Mike introduced her to Christ. Mike grew up with his mom watching the 700 Club.
God was there and working through CBN in her life and in my life.
That blessed my husband, who led me to the Lord.
Mike remembered that his mother taught him about giving, and the young couple was eager to put these biblical principles into practice. But it took a giant step of faith to give from the little they had.
We let go of the money. It looked like it was our smallest time of giving from a natural perspective. But I believe spiritually, from God's perspective, it was our greatest time of giving, when we gave the most, when we gave out of our lack and not our abundance.
We started really tithing and being consistent in our tithe and knowing that God wants this from us, And we started giving faithfully. And then things started moving.
The Martinezes saw an immediate change. Their own practical needs were being met, sometimes through people they didn't even know.
It wasn't always money, but it was always provision, somehow to get us through financially.
Then Mike was offered a new job for a company that makes and sells high-precision ball bearings. A year later, he asked for a huge raise.
I presented this proposal, this paper to them, what I had done, and he told me too, he said, some people would lose their job asking for a 15% raise. And then my boss said, here's what we want to do. I want to put you on a commission base to your salary. And based on the percentage of profit and that comes in, we'll add that to your salary. And it ended up becoming a 25% raise.
Pretty soon after that, we moved to a 2-bedroom house where our children could have their own room, we could have our own room, and we had a big backyard where they could play. Such a blessing to just be able to give them that. And, all of it came at once.
The Martinezes wanted to give back. They chose CBN as a way to honor the support Mike's mom got from the 700 Club when he was growing up.
God says, I want to bless you abundantly. He's saying, I love you. It's about how much are you going to trust him.